And we are live. Good day, Internet, and welcome to the Thursday night online open mic presented by the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. I am your host for the evening, Advocate of Words, and it is not like last week where we tricked you for April 1st. I'm actually hosting tonight because La Bruja, she is healthy, her technology is working well, she is filming. And me even saying that may be too much. So don't tell her that I told you she was filming, but she will be back here next week. So I am familiar with the Thursday night traditions. I am going to try to keep in step with that. Obviously, I am a hairier, less attractive, less talented version than La Bruja, but I do have some experience hosting online open mics. I do host a Monday night online open mic. We just celebrated our 1 year anniversary on Monday. I'm actually cutting up the video from that so we could put up highlights and people performing, and some people dressed up and some people didn't dress up. So you're going to see all of that in videos. But now that we've got a bunch of people in here, oh, yes, we are live on Facebook and YouTube. So if you are watching on Facebook or YouTube and you would like to join us on Zoom, the number is 977 539 856. I'm going to be saying that number throughout the night if you want to jot it down. 977 539 856. So we have 25 poets on the, well, we have 35 performers, not just poets, because we got some singers in here tonight. That's what we do on Thursday nights. Poetry, comedy, singing, some music. It is awesome. So we have 35 people signed up. The first 25 guaranteed to get on the list tonight. The 10 are on the waiting list. We're going to try to get to the waiting list, but as always, there is absolutely no guarantee. I know on Thursday nights that you get about 3 to 4 minutes to share your stuff, and the way La Bruja says it, if you want to be considerate and keep your stuff short so we can get to the waiting list, please do so. But of course, you got 4 minutes. And I know in the beginning, La Bruja likes for everyone to be obnoxious, to be loud. So I'm going to unmute you and shout your affirmations, right? Your good love, your good vibe to begin the night. And now ask all to unmute. You should be able to unmute yourselves and let's hear it.
Good
Hi.
evening,
Going
folks.
on?
Umaguma.
Umaguma. New York family.
You all ready?
Looking forward to a fire night tonight.
Yes, yes.
Good morning.
Love it, love it, love it. Obviously, I do wish that we could be in person, but we have been doing these online open mics. The Thursday night online open mic is actually the first time I hosted a New York online open mic, and it is our first one that we've ever hosted, and that was hosted by La Bruja. So I call her the mother of deities, and as she hosts the flagship online open mic, which is Thursday. So what I'm going to do for you right now is I am going to grab the open mic list. And those of you on Zoom, please open up your chat, especially if you signed up for the open mic list, so you can see where you are on the list. Like I said, the waiting list, not guaranteed to get to you tonight, but we are going to try. So I believe I've covered everything. No, I haven't. I haven't covered our sponsors, and I don't have the list in front of me, but that's okay, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to call our first poet up. And then when we come back from our first poet, I'll be ready with our sponsors, which is awesome because our first poet is our cult leader, Nick Paleologos. And if you missed it, a couple of weeks ago, Nick made us repeat his poem, and apparently we swore our mortal allegiance to him. So, Nick Paleologos, our cult leader, the floor is yours, brother.
Thank you so much. Fearless cult leader checking in right now. Hope everyone is well. Leading off the night. So, National Poetry Month. I got 2 new pieces for y'all that I never read on New Yo. The first one is called Fawn Around and Find. Lavender flowers quell lost souls in the garden containing lilacs, roses, carnations, sunflowers, buttercups, daisies, and irises, kisses, the very essence of us, the smells, inviting, mystifying mystery of how these floral arrangements keeps us even keeled. We have been planted, watered, taken in spring sunlight. We are plants, grown from Flora's and Gaia's own embodiment. We have watched winter's wrath wrap and wither us, and now spring's ambient sunlight comes forth, bringing the tears of watching the plants fade so that we can bloom again. We are a garden, and we can't be housed within a hellhole. Breathe deep. Make sure everything is in place. We have to get all our flowers in line. Don't forget the lavender. It's needed to calm, to embalm, to make us feel we are at home, to mend broken hearts. We are plants. We need tending to. It is still a mystery that could be solved tomorrow. For now, let's get back to our garden and cultivate it for a better society. The second one is brand new. I literally just finished this 30 minutes ago. So let's get into it. This one's called I'm Handing You Philosophy. You don't become kind overnight. You don't become who you want to be at the snap or drop of your hat. You have to evolve like a Pokemon going through one or two or even more changes from Chandran to consistency, being reminded constantly of shortcomings, flipping the middle one at the world. You don't owe the world anything, but you have a solemn duty to take a stand against tyranny. You have your pointer finger tells you what direction you're going. Your middle flips the world upside down. Your ring looking to wear affection. Your pinky trying to bond the fabric of worlds so far apart. Your thumb contains the willpower. Your palm works in unison to make, disassemble, or do nothing. When you look at your hands, look at them a good while. Have they created or destroyed? The real question is, can the gestures of your hands aid in a rebuild? Can they help in a renewal? Your hands will signal where you are and where you're going. I hope for your sake, it's the right way. Thank you.
Let's get some snappy fingers, them hands into the webcam for Nick Paleologos. Nick, that first poem, is it in the book?
This is in the brand new book that Marissa Prada gave to me right here. So I have a new one right here. I don't know if y'all can see it right here. If you guys can see it. This is the new notebook that Marissa Prada had sent to me. I love this notebook. The other one I am working on something that Midnight gave me a prompt to and everything, just because I'm on the last couple of pages. So I'm working on that right now. I'm about, let's say, 5 pieces in already on that. Midnight knows what I'm talking about. We talked about this.
That's awesome that you shouted out other poets, which I love, but I was talking about Love Letters for Gaia. If that first
I'm so sorry.
I'm trying to set you up because like it's coming out, it's being published.
This is not in Love Letters to Gaia. I just made the what was it? That one I made the hands, the lavender one. I made it a few days ago, so that one was well past the deadline. But Love Letters to Gaia will be dropping on 4/20. So you want to toke up a little bit and and read a nice book. It'll be available on 4/20. You know.
Awesome. Nick, where can the people find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at The Real Nick P. That's TheRealNickP on Instagram. And be on the lookout. I'm going to be having some big things coming, not just Love Letters to Gaia, but some big things coming up. Thank you, Advocate, for having me. And Nuyo, let's keep the night going.
Nick Paleologos. So I tried to be a good host there. I gave him like a softball question, oh yeah, Love Letters for Gaia. But I can't be mad because he shouted out Marissa Prada and Midnight, 2 other people who are part of our community. So I can't be mad at that. If he mentioned someone not from our community, I would have been mad, but he didn't. All right, Abraham Kamani. Where is Abraham? I saw him. There he is. I think he was combing his beard. Maybe he didn't know his video was still on. I saw you. All right, Abraham.
I was combing my hair, man.
I got you. I appreciate
I had washed it earlier and I didn't comb it afterwards. So I had went in the restroom and combed it real quick.
I appreciate you looking good for us. I appreciate that, Abraham.
Yeah, man. And I appreciate that, that performance, from all of the Monday night poets, man. It was fantastic. Wish I could have been part of it. I was at IHOP and the reception was kind of fucked up, so I couldn't get to the sign-up sheet on time, but that was all right. But anyways, so I got two pieces, one that I just finished writing today and one that I have written 3 weeks ago and just finished making revisions of that piece right before we started here. So I'm gonna start with the one I wrote today. It's called Eternity. Eternity's life will never end. The very moment when she began to rise and shine like the sun and not set for anyone or anything for that matter. Once she enters hereafter, her soul's existence will be timeless, nicely dressed up in the finest, priceless, see-through, ageless garments of infinity, strutting with grace throughout her vicinity, soaring with confidence. She will easily topple one race built for America's next top model, because her spiritual body will be impeccable, perfect as the pearly gates, much better than incredible. The span of her beauty will be beyond measure, like the pearly gates. Oh, wait, excuse me. Yes, the span of her beauty will be beyond measure, like the streets of gold, an immensely rich treasure, a bright light whose glow will never perish, lasting forever for angels to cherish. She will be eternally free of any foul play and disease. Trials and tribulations will have no place to bring forth misery in her space, for happiness and joy will be indestructible, and her scales of divine justice incorruptible. Freedom and liberty will permanently reside in her peaceful habitat, not to be gentrified. Wickedness will be indefinitely banned from her bountiful, glorious promised land, because oppression is sin and will be punished by death, to ensure evil will not live to take another breath. That was the first one. And then speaking of green eyes, I wrote another piece. It's not about my eyes per se, but it's called Green Vision. When I stand in front of the mirror to take a deep look in my eyes, I see a green vision of working class people from all walks of life, joining forces to build a massive new land full of green pastures where we can enjoy the fruits of our labor, reap 100% of the seeds we sow, without donkeys and elephants around to graze our grass, because we will defend our property at all costs with weapons we possess to stop these corporate animals from capitalizing off the grounds we toil to till and proudly claim ownership of the crops we produce. In adversity, we will stand taller than the green giant, with mighty fists to the sky, stronger than the Incredible Hulk, full of brains and hearts, carrying more wealth than a pot of gold, ready to spring into action as one on a collective mission to transform the political and economic climate of our environment by defunding the police, abolishing prisons, dethroning corrupt politicians, and shutting down corporations that support all of the above, while simultaneously investing in holistic healthcare centers, employee-owned businesses, multicultural educational institutions, and politicians who value the lives of people over property and profit. Because we demand our human right to live in a land where we can breathe in fresh air without being choked up by the lethal pollution of white supremacy, where we can have clean water to cook, drink, and wash our bodies without fear of disease and death as the result of environmental racists who refuse to replace old and eroded pipes with new ones in Black, brown, and indigenous working class communities. So long as I live, it would take more than a bullet or blade to kill my green vision for progressive radical change. In pieces.
Snap it up in the webcam for Abraham Kamani. Always ready to stir up some ish. I love it. Abraham, where can the people find you online, brother?
You guys can find me on Instagram, as always, on Poetically Incorrect 562. I do try to post as regularly as possible. And, for this month, I'm trying to do 30 haikus in 30 days, for National Poetry Month. So I'm late today. I haven't did one for today yet. So I might have to do 2 for tomorrow. One, for today and one for tomorrow, man. But thank you guys again for having this space. I appreciate it. And, love being here every week.
Thank you, Abraham Kamani. Abraham, make sure you type that out into the chat as well. He is a mainstay here on our online open mics. And so is Dylan DeForge, who is letting the beard grow out. And the room is looking spectacular. What, Dylan, you got a new cutie in your life? Is that what it is?
Not in the age of COVID, my man.
I hear you. Well, you looking spectacular with the beard and the bedroom, man. Awesome.
Thank you.
Floor
Thank
is yours.
So I got two new pieces tonight. One, which I think it's actually kind of convenient that you're hosting tonight because it actually fits more within the upcoming theme for this upcoming Monday open mic. What's next? And I did it in a form that I was originally just like really struggling with, but I don't know, something hit me. And I managed to get it done. And it's a form called a 36. And this poem is called Problem Solving. On the road to self-actualization, I've dug myself into deep pits. They were never the intended outcome, but here I am with this rusty trowel in my hands, standing where the road splits. It serpentines and spiralizes as far as Saugus and Siam. I can keep working away at the earth like it'll do me any good, but I know that what's next begs me to do what I should. They were never the intended outcome, but here I am in my most recent ravine running 100 miles wide, strip mining for a sense of humility, wearing my goddamn aching bones to the marrows. I look around for a guide to lead me out through the nearest tunnel to the surface, at least so I can carry on from square one with a purpose, with this rusty trowel in my hands, standing where the road splits. Now a man-made river runs over the terrain with the sign on the other side. Rather than wait for weather to permit, I strip and cross the channel with my gear overhead, spitting brine and pebbles when I reach the end and dry off at dawn. With the wooden arrows carved into the posts, our lines drawn, serpentining and spiralizing as far as Saugus and Siam, but mapped along the way to those destinations are Buddhist temples, Babylonian ruins, Iharaku Dam to the east, cast iron colonial statues, gas stations, Atlantic naval bases, and sunken submarines to the west. Both journeys plentiful, but I still feel that urge, possessed to keep working away at the earth, like it'll do me any good, instead of making a choice that will define my life. I don't want history to remember me as the man that stood still on a causeway, processing all of the rife possibilities, accounting for every series of apt accidents, writing equations in the dirt, creating some new entropy calculus. But I know that what's next begs me to do what I should. I string up my chewed up boots and press onward, stepping in mud, stumbling on steep hills. I ask, what would the world's greatest nomad do? When I reach an awkward impasse, get stopped by swindlers in the starry Arabian night, or climb barbed wire fences. Now, what parts will history need to rewrite? And I have a second piece if I have time. Is that thumbs up? Okay, cool. This one's another new piece called No Butts. No butts. The shirt stays on during sex. I won't compromise. I already do so with everything else. Sure, I'll have a cheat day. Order me the Friday special. Fine, you can change the station. We can listen to your podcasts. I guess we can rewatch the film since you fell asleep on the couch halfway. I don't need much sleep for tomorrow's shift. Yeah, I can cut that stanza out for the sake of a good story, but I'm not budging on this. You say, I want to mark you up good. You'll have to layer up around your family for a week. You say, I'm beautiful. You say that it's not fair for me to keep my clothes on while you're lazing all over me without anything on. Don't play it slick either. Don't be pulling on my waistband and practicing your sleight of hand skills under my top while I'm not paying attention. Truth is, there's nothing under it you want any part of. I got too much hair, I tell you. I've got stab wounds kept green and open, I tell you. I've got a torso covered with Yakuza tattoos, where a Hanya masked man acts in bloody murder against my past selves over and over, surrounded by cherry blossoms, I tell you. I've got a second mouth with 70 rows of teeth spanning my abdomen, and you best bet it loves the taste of fingers from stubborn lovers. I forget to tell you. And peace.
Let's get some finger snapping in there for Dylan DeForge. Yeah, I did not know where that second poem was going, and I love it. I love it. I feel like I got hit by a tornado and I didn't see it. Like, how did I not hear that and feel that? Awesome. Dylan, where can the people find you online and your published work?
You can find me at DeForgery on Instagram. I'm actually featured in Love Letters to Gaia, which is coming up, so order that. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Dylan DeForge at DeForgery. Make sure you also put that into the chat, Dylan. You know, people like to copy and paste. We're lazy. We are humans. Okay, I have to mention this. We would like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our free online events. Thank you very much for this past year, especially for the Thursday night and Monday night online open mic. You too can support us with a tax-deductible donation at www.nuyorican.org/contribute or on Cash App, Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Gotta make sure we thank the sponsors, man. This is how we're gonna get some more money next year, right? This is what we're hoping for. Okay, Luis Pabon, he looks like he's ready, man. Like look at him. He's like all laid up. He's in the mood. He's ready. Like he's ready to, I don't know, seduce us, taking on a journey. I don't know what it is. Something, man. Luis, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Advocate? How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm enjoying hosting on Thursday because, you know, I get to see some people on Thursday like you that I don't get to see on Monday, really. So it's awesome.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, right?
Yeah. Luis, floor's yours.
So I got two pieces I want to read today. First one is based on a true story. I'm the only Black man at work, and not having representation is a bitch. So this piece is called The Only Black at Work. I wake before work and I look in my hard bronze face, the cracked patches of dry white cut across like a scar. I put some Vaseline on and skate my finger across my full lips. I glow like magic, make sure my outfit matches, not too tight to see any bulges. Don't want the stereotypical Black penis to be office gossip. I grab some coffee and a mindset, leave my apartment at Target, hit the car. Alexa, play Hit the Quan. They won't know this. Alexa's a white woman, now playing In the Storm. Arrive at my office early, so I am the first one. Finish my paperwork. Can't be no lazy Black. I got stereotypes to combat. Start the coffee pot, lower the temperature rod, sit at my desk as they come in one by one. Grin with teeth, grin so hard, imagine you're bleeding. Good morning, Jim. Biff, Joan, Kelly, how nice it is to see you today. Good morning, Louis. Your hair looks so well maintained. The meeting will begin around 8. Don't be late. Only took 400 years in a boat to get me here today, but okay, I'll be there at 8. Put on black face, be the face of every Black face, the name of every Black name, be the savior and the cape. Choice D on the diversity training, say, you speak so lovely, so mellifluous, so soft. Louis, you sound so safe. What did you bring for lunch today? I love your chicken and collards. Smell up the office so good, I always know when you come to work. I just love ethnic food. Say, did you hear that new rap song? The one I will probably get wrong in my attempt to get along? Jim, this just in. I listen to rock too, jazz too, hip hop too, country, alternative, and gospel. Did you hear that latest Bjork tune? Perplexed, they stand confused. I am a presence in the room. I speak too good to be this hue, too good to have my Black be believable. What are you doing this weekend, Lou? Well, I'm busting suds, cleaning the woodwork, giving that good old elbow grease, spit shine the floor, and doing mama's hair with Dixie Peaks. I lost them at cleaning. I leave work early, my sick time is dwindling. This tired old body can't wait till the morning so I can look at my hard bronze face with the cracked patches of dry white and wonder how I too can be Vaseline. So that's my first piece right there. And I just got a short one afterwards. This piece is called After All. The moment I text you, I forget you. I've learned that to love you is to lose you. So I hold on to let go, only let myself in to find my way out. Every entrance, an attractive exit, a kiss, I punch, awake, I dream. Every time I hold you, it's like losing me. So I keep me and lose you easily. Because I love you so much, I don't love you at all. Best part of addiction is kicking withdrawal. Just the way the day stands when the night falls. Once I thought it was hard to let go, but it's easy after all.
Let's get some love in our webcams for Luis. Holy cow, man.
Thank y'all for listening.
Yo, I love that. The second poem was dope, but what was also dope about the first poem people mentioned was like how like relaxed and comfortable you are. Like I think it was like a mind fudge. You know what I mean? Because like the poem was screaming, but you were just like boom, boom, boom. And then it goes so well with like what you're talking about being in the poem, you know, and the frustrations at work, but you're like, no. And then you're trying to be calm for Jim, as you explain, like, you know, my radio station goes to other stations too. And I like,
all my life I had to fight. So I'm tired. I'm laying down, really trying to heal.
Well, I hear you. Luis, where can the people find you online?
If y'all want to look me up, I'm on Instagram, LMajesty1.
Thank you, Luis. And I know you're comfortable, but make sure you put it in the chat too. Make it easier for people. Okay, please. Thank you.
It.
Luis. Boom. Like, yo, that was so awesome. I loved it. I love it. I love it. There are some things that, look, I miss the theater and stage, but there are some things you could do on Zoom that you can't. You know, and that's one of them, right? Like we would have to see Luis on stage, but right now, like he got to chill on his couch and like, and I just loved it. His words screamed, but like he was very cool and calm. Loved it. And what's awesome, it's a great segue because next up is Elizabeth Strauss, Deadpan Lizzie. And we call it Deadpan Lizzie because her delivery is very deadpan, like she couldn't care about anything in the world, but her words are full of life. Elizabeth, the floor is yours. Good to see you.
Good to see you on Thursday Advocate. I care about so many things. I just have a very dry delivery, but I care immensely about so many things. All right, I have new shit. It's called Strong Hands. As the shadows grow larger, so do my thoughts. Sun beating down on my already fragile body, blocking out my vision, but not my hands. Staring at my hands in the shadows, looking exceptionally large, hard like tree trunks, swinging uncontrollably in the shadows and warm sun. They do not feel like the hands I have carried around for 3 decades, feeling weighed down by everything, holding more than they asked for, looking at the skin on the back of them, very unfamiliar. Not cold and blue, nor sweaty, just exceptionally heavy. Why have they been given more than they can hold? Because they are much stronger than they realize, and always will be. Thank you.
Let's get some love in our webcam for Deadpan Lizzie.
Thank you so much.
I love it. Wait. Did you and Nick P have a discussion before the open mic? Like, or was there a theme tonight about hands that I didn't catch? Like,
I mean, the only thing that Nick texted me that he had 2 new poems tonight, but I did not know what they were about.
awesome. Well, yeah, great minds think alike, right? That's what they say. Elizabeth Strauss, please let the people know where they can find you and talk about e-real estate too.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at ES_Strauss, where you'll find poetry, real estate. I'm in New York City and Long Island, a real estate agent, and I have my license works internationally. And I, athletics, writing, theater, all that. So IG ES_Strauss. Thank you.
Thank you. And make sure that you put it into the chat as well. because I said copy and paste, copy and paste. So yes, and please, we are talking about trying to build community. This is why I was talking about Love Letters to Gaia, because the community on their own made this. This is not a New York thing, even though there's like a lot of poets who attend the New York online stuff. And we always want you to come to the New York. We want to be the hub, but we also want you to know that there are people in this community who are creating beautiful things on their own. They're doing group projects on their own. So make sure I keep telling all of our poets to share their information to follow so that you can actually follow and be part of the community. And another good person to follow is our next performer, Mr. Speaker. If we were ever going to war, this is the man we will follow, okay? I enjoy football. One of the things football players talk about when they have a good coach is they say they will run through a brick wall for their coach. And I feel like the community would run through a brick wall if this man told them, Mr. Speaker, brother, floor is yours.
Let's go. I am the king. Do you actually know the truth about your history? I mean, do you know his story while your past is still a mystery? Well, have you ever actually studied for yourself? Or are you living off of someone else? Just in case you did not know, I am a descendant of kings. I don't care what you were told. So you cannot believe everything you were taught in school. See, some teachers and books were inaccurate, or they hid the truth, which is not cool. See, in 1492, Columbus did sail and land. That part is true, but actually he was lost. Killed many Caribbean natives and started the slave trade before he was through. Our founding fathers wrote, all men are created equal, but half of them owned slaves and they mistreated a lot of non-white people. Thomas Jefferson worked the Louisiana Purchase. What a deal he made. But the Native Americans owned the land, so why'd the French get paid? Back in the day, minorities served freely on the Republican Party's team, while the Democrats were full of racists that helped birth the Klan's dream. Woodrow Wilson was a white supremacist at Princeton back in 1902. As president, he set blacks back 100 years. See, baby, that's something else teachers in books neglected to tell you. Knowledge can be one of the best friends you could ever have had. Walking around ignorant is ridiculous and extremely sad. The fear they have of me dates back before they started counting the days, because when I ruled the world, they called it the dark age. So study your history, and that should be one of your main directives. Now let me break it down from a completely different perspective. While I was king, I welcomed you into my land openly and blindly. You stabbed me in the back, so please don't remind me. You stole me from my homeland while you were on your crime spree. You forced me to work your lands while you prospered so handsomely. You taught me lies, which I accepted wholeheartedly. You raped my women for years, so that even your blood runs through my seed. But look at that black queen walking and living so boldly. Thanks for leading me back to my God, because you realize he also loves me. Then I prayed to God who set me free from your tyranny. After slavery, your justice was hanging black men in public from trees. You even used me to subdue the native man, and some of your other enemies. But I've been through slavery, so that does not define me. I did with your racism, and I refuse to let that bind me. Even had to sue you in court for a right to get an equal opportunity. I prayed to God to forgive so we can all live more divinely, but don't push me, because not all that anger is completely behind me. We can work together, lead this world so we can all live freely. But just remember, we are equals. So come, brother, walk beside me in peace.
Mr. Speaker, let's get some love in our webcams. MrSpeakerInc.com. When you spell Mr, it's just the MR Speaker, and Inc as if like, Quillen Inc. INK.com. Mr. Speaker, I love hearing you. Listen, I got to ask you one question, because a lot of people ask me this question, when I'm doing workshops or hosting, whatever, and I always have my own answer, but I always like to hear what other people have to say. What I enjoy the most about you is that you are incredibly confident and brave. Can you speak just real quick, because I don't want to go too long into it, where that comes from for you, or where you believe that comes from for you?
So one of the keys to getting people to follow you is your confidence in yourself. You can't get people to follow you into dangerous situations when they're looking at you like you're afraid to go yourself. No. So you learn that confidence, because that's how we get our job done in the military. So
set the tone. That's what I say. You got to set the tone. I love it. I love it. I know I already said it, but you said it, Mr. Speaker. Where can they follow you online?
Hey, Thursday and Mondays, come right here. Come to the New York.
Oh, snap. I love it. That's why he got his hearts in the background, man. He know how to get in the fields right there. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. MrSpeakerInc.com. Make sure that you go and check him out. Look at that, man. He's like military confident. We're going to do this. And then he gets us right in the heart. I'm here with you guys every Monday and Thursday. Come check me out. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. Who's next? See, DG Clearing. I don't see him. So what I'm going to do is, because I know that this young lady is here and I'm going to feel super conscious if we keep her up too late. And I know school tomorrow. Where's Nisa? I saw Nisa here. And I know Nisa because I hosted, the New York has an art slam. You need to follow the New Rican Poets Cafe online so you can find out about all the different stuff that they're doing. One of the stuff they do is an art slam. They have a poet record a poem, and then they have these artists start painting like on the spot. And that's where I found this young lady. There she is. Nisa is not on the waiting list. She is actually on the guaranteed list, but she is number 25. And even though I don't know her, like the father in me is kicking in because I got a 10-year-old, and I'd be like, yo, I don't care if it's for poetry. You're not staying up till 11:30. So Nisa, you and DG Clearing are gonna switch spots. Are you ready to perform? I know I'm putting you on the spot right now.
Sure. Okay. So when I first came up here, I was a mess, like messier than James Charles drama mess. And when I performed, it was my second time on the meet, and somehow I thought I'd get kidnapped. I did a set about sexism to a crowd of random strangers that were at least 10 years older than me. And my thought process was, I look like I'm 8, and 9 if you push it. No one's gonna take me seriously. Then I thought I should change my Zoom name to Man-Hating 8-Year-Old. Perfect. It's my 5th or 4th time performing now, and now I know no one will kidnap me, except maybe that green guy on Nick's background. But my first time up here, after my first set, I could not speak. My ears were red, and I responded to compliments by mumbling something that kind of sounded like thank you. After I got to process everything, I realized something. LaBruja is psychic. She knew that I needed that compliment beat down. And my one solace is when I meet you guys in person, I will be taller than someone, at least one person. And I'll get to meet that pink blanket and say hi to Jeff too, I guess. But I feel like it would be more awkward to do the spicy eroticas in person. So like my parents would have to come, and I'd be used to it. I don't care. But then there's my parents covering my ears and talking to the managers. This is my creativity's home. I live here now. Thank you. And I have one more on how to get good at art. It's pretty short. So now today we're gonna paint some happy little sunflowers. Go on, get some paper, pencils, and some cadmium white to cover up your inevitable mistakes. Go. Seriously. Go. Come on. Go get it. Thank you. Finally. Now start off with pencil and sketch out some little circles. Like the shape of your mouth after you realize you spent over $700 on different streaming platforms. Now you're gonna add some petals, some little triangles here. Now look at it. It kind of sucks, right? Yeah, it sucks. Normally I would say it's a happy little accident. But honestly, you suck. Like, it's bad. But if you call 666 for the low price of your soul, you will get Bob Ross level painting skill. And if you're lucky, you might see Lil Nas down there. Thank you. That's it.
Let's get some love in our webcams for Nisa. Oh my God. I love it. But you got to be careful because I love kids who are rebellious, and I can already tell that Nisa, you must be a handful. And that dark humor, I see it. Oh, I see you holding back too, man. Oh man, bless your parents. Everyone say a prayer for Nisa's parents. I love it. Nisa, how old are you?
I'm 11. or 12.
Okay.
I'm
All right,
almost
you're
12.
11, which means that you're not allowed to have social media, and we're not going to ask you whether people can find you online. But
Well,
or unless you have like a website or something your parents check.
well, I do have social media. I don't want to share it on here.
Yes. Only because you're young, but like I love your poetry and what you're writing.
Thank you.
And I seriously hope you come back and sign up again. And I seriously hope you come on Monday nights as well, because you are fantastic. I love it. Nisa, thank you so much. That was Nisa. Yo, how good was Nisa? You know, like I haven't gotten to hear Nisa. Nisa was at the Art Slam, and I was just like, oh, you know, this is really cool. We got a young person here. Let's move her up. Let's get her to, you know, like, let's be really nice and friendly, like how we are. We're warm. And oh my gosh, she so earned it. Like she so earned our appreciation. It wasn't just like, oh, you're young, we're gonna give you some love. No, like she earned it. She better than some of y'all. Get y'all game up, man. And she said 10 years older. Oh my God, that would make me 21. I'd love to be 21 again. All right. Enough stalling. Next, Roz. Where's Roz representing the Bronx? There she is. Her hair done up. Look, the lipstick. She's just popping on screen. Popping. I'm loving it.
Thank you.
How are you, Roz?
I'm good. I'm ready to share some new shit with y'all.
Oh, new shit. Go ahead, Roz.
It's called In a New York Minute. My heart races vigorously when I know someone is looking at me. My face matches my hair when I'm the center of attention. My hands shake when my name is mentioned. Time travel is real. And suddenly, I am 3. A game of peekaboo. Closing my eyes tightly in hopes you can't see me. But just for a second, as I catch my breath, a breath of promise that no one can see the battlefield within me. I am codependent on all things imaginary. I picture me on a plane ready for a tropical destination, but only a window seat where people are less likely to touch me. Time travel is real, and suddenly I'm away from that screaming baby on aisle 3. Never mind that I'm loud. It doesn't count if the noise is me. Public speaker, poet, dedicated to client advocacy yet. Trying to teach about my anxiety is like expecting people to read terms and conditions thoroughly. Everyone, including me, scrolls down to the bottom, refusing to read. And once they get there, they're already in too deep. Keeping myself together takes up a lot of energy. Social skills running on E. But you do this so well, it comes so naturally. Oh, how looks can deceive. The social butterfly often wants to hide her colors indefinitely. Now tell me, how can I want to be held, but not really? Want to be felt, but lightly, please. Surprise, I come with an instruction manual on how to handle me. Fortune cookie with warning labels instead of messages about your destiny. Time travel is real, and suddenly I open my eyes and I'm back to reality. Only 1 minute has gone by and I finally conjure up the courage to say hi. End poem.
Give it up for Roz. Get some love in the webcam for her.
Thank you.
Oh, I love it. That line hit me so much. Codependent on everything imaginary. I felt exposed right there. I wanted to unmute myself and be like, yo, why you shouting me out for, yo? Like, that's how I felt.
I'm glad some of us can relate because this is me every day.
Yeah. I only began to talk to my son like about anxiety. He's going to be 11 in like a week or 2, but he's like, Dad, sometimes you're just really quiet. Are you mad? I'm like, nah. I tried to explain to him like, yo, it's got nothing to do with you. It's just a lot of noise in my head. You know, that's how I put it, you know, and then I go off into my imaginary world. Sometimes my imaginary world is hell. But Roz, let the people know where they can find you online.
Through Her Big Brown Eyes on Instagram and on my website, throughherbigbrownyes.com, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Roz, representing the Bronx through her
Always.
big brown eyes. And that's the way to do it. You want to promote yourself? You want all your social medias and your websites to say the same thing. It's so much easier for people to find you that way. Just want to let you all know, and I'm so glad that Roz did it that way. Through herbigbrownyes.com or through Her Big Brown Eyes on Instagram. Marissa Prada, she got her heart ready. This woman is always ready to give love, just ready to smash it through her computer screen and into Zoom and all of our beautiful faces. I love it. Marissa, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Advocate. So this is a new poem I wrote a couple days ago. I've given it a spin around in a few open mics, but never to Neo. So hope you enjoy. It is titled Red Wine Life. Red wine life, red wine wife. Red wine says marriage is a joke. Nothing like a piece of paper and cuff around your finger to say you matter. I love you. We are forever. Red wine need, red wine routine. Cabernet nights become your best friend where you learn to find yourself, the self you've always been. Half your red wine mother, smeared mascara, not the fun way, wasted again. Red wine mornings become something you'd never normally do and nothing you'd ever admit to. Red wine lies at breakfast, floating your cereal for you. Red wine lies at lunch, happy hour of get in my mouth before I remember what I'm forgetting. Red wine lies at family dinners with fucking idiots who share my DNA, never known to me as family, relative relations of, I should have slapped you when we were kids. Red wine lies at work, since it's all Zoom anyway. Red wine lies at luncheons when you're supposed to actually get dressed, look sexy, look available, but not too eager to get him into trouble, just sign that last client. Red wine stains on shirts, red wine smells on breath, red wine in your sights at all times. This is my wine is me, together we are one. I love my wine loves me. Movie mantras of mothers who drink, unexploded popcorn and forlorn dildos, Pinot Noir nights filled with clanking garbage bags. Everyone hears me on trash day. Syrah sign something is wrong, Merlot mania sewer system of wasted time, Zinfandel flights to the next city, red wine voice, red wine choice, red wine I don't choose, not my choice, not my consent, not me, not again. Red wine lies. Red wine lies on my tongue. Red wine lies on my lips, pussy lips, on my cheek, on my breath, on my pen, on my generational trauma, on the cunt I can't shake, beg to come, to not be so alone. Red wine hurt, red wine fuck, red wine gone, red wine buy more, red wine sighs, red wine laughs, red wine shaped mistakes, red wine knows this is not the last time. Red wine fall over, red wine sleep, red wine nightmares, red wine do-overs in the morning. Tempranillo tries to stop tomorrow. Crimson lies of this red wine life. Red wine, red wine. I fucking hate you. End poem.
Let's get some energy into the webcam for Marissa Prada. Oh my God, there was so much in that poem, and that went in so many different places, and then like the way you flip red wine in different ways, and then even when I thought it was over, and then you were talking about like the trash cans and the clanking, I was, oh, we're going more. Like, oh, I loved it. I loved
It's
it.
supposed to be redundant and repetitious because that's the point.
Yo,
Thank
but
you so much, like it.
No, I love it. I love it though, because I feel like if I was to make the analogy, it's like it's going around the racetrack, and you're like, aren't you just going in circles? But at a race, there each lap is different. There is nuances to NASCAR and stuff like that. They're not just turning left, and that's how I feel about your poem. It's like she's not just repeating stuff. Oh, okay, all right. We've got an open mic to do. All right, Marissa. I can't keep talking to you all night. That was fantastic. Let the people know where they can find you online.
Okay, just come find me, Marissa Prada on Facebook, Prada Painting and Poetry on IG. I co-authored The Word Is Right, WRITE, with Ma Dukes, and we have 5 new shows coming up this spring with 5 new poets. And also redorgreenbooks.com, red, R-E-A-D, books.com is my publishing house. We are launching 10 poets this summer and 10 more before Christmas. So come and find me. Thanks, Advocate. Hi,
Thank
bye.
you. Marissa Prada, a busy person. Marissa Prada on Facebook. I know she gave you a lot of information, but if you go to her Facebook, Marissa Prada, all of that will be there. Okay, she's involved in a lot of stuff. And in the Zoom chat, I just heard that Roz is shorter than 5'1", which means that Nisa is gonna be taller than someone. Oh snap, that's right. I be reading the chat, not all the time. I'm trying to. You know, I got a lot to cover here. Okay. Jeff Cottrell is next. Jeff Cottrell is the owner of the infamous pink blanket that we just heard in Nisa's poem. Jeff, it's good to see you, man. You and your blanket are famous. The floor is yours.
Me and my blanket. Okay. So I got some new shit. It's called If It Happened Now. And if the Salem witch trials happened now, we'd hang Rebecca Nurse for her witch privilege, and all Giles Corey's pleas for mercy would be met with mocking taunts of, "Okay, boomer." Susanna Martin and John Proctor would decry the lack of innocence presumed and say due process had been undermined, but every judge would shout all protests down with consequence and accountability, and Abigail Williams would tell her story in an HBO documentary. And if the reign of terror happened now, we'd leave it to the internet to judge the fates of nobles and their families. Marie Antoinette would never get a trial. The Twitter sound and fury would be more than enough to rush her to the scaffold steps. Her live-streamed execution would break YouTube. Her head would sit atop the Eiffel Tower and pose in selfies with millennial tourists. And Robespierre would win the Pulitzer Prize for his tell-all, Catch and Kill. And if McCarthyism happened now, we'd name and shame our socialist ex-partners and friends in epic social media rants, accompanied by the hashtag #CommieToo. Blacklisted screenwriters and actors all would cry and moan into an empty void, only to hear, "This isn't cancellation. You're only being criticized. Shut up," while they collected unemployment peanuts. And Elia Kazan would grace the covers of Time and Vanity Fair for his courage. And if the satanic panic happened now, we'd scream, "Believe the children!" twice as loud. And anyone demanding evidence in the McMartin and Little Rascals trials would be on the wrong side of history. 100 famous goth and metal bands would sign an open letter in Rolling Stone, begging for freedom of speech and free expression. But everyone would scoff and call them whiners. And Tipper Gore would be immortalized in a Netflix hagiography. Good thing humanity has reached its apex, and these events could never happen now. That was new shit called If It Happened Now.
Oh, I did not see that ending coming. You've just toying with us, just like at the end, to cut our throat. Oh, I love that ending, Jeff. I love it. And you know something? Jeff is a fantastic writer, a fantastic performer. And I just realized something. Like, Jeff, you have reinvented yourself in some ways, because before you were the owner of the pink blanket, I remember you were the Zoom man. The camera kept zooming in. I forgot it doesn't do that anymore.
I fixed it. I just went into the settings and found out why it does that. And I fixed the lighting because it used to be darker. So I fixed that and it stopped moving, and now it's normal. Now it's just a normal camera.
One day you got to do that. You know what? Do it on a Thursday night and mess with La Bruja. All right. You
go like this. I'll go like this.
Jeff is doing a lot of things. He is involved in a lot of things. He is a great performer. Jeff, let the people know where they can follow you so they can know about your future events.
Well, I'm on jeffcottrell.com. I'm on Facebook and Twitter. And my next feature is this Saturday. Marissa is hosting it. Generalissimo is the other feature. There's an open mic. And Saturday after that, I'm co-featuring with you, Advocate, and Ray Jane and some other people. And Mr. Speaker's hosting that. Voices of Poetry. Look for them on Facebook.
Awesome. Jeff Cottrell, make sure you look this dude up. He is fantastic. He is a mainstay here in our online open mics. And yes, a week from this Saturday, we're going to be rocking out with Mr. Speaker. Ooh, I haven't rocked out for Mr. Speaker. He's got his own thing going. This is why you need to follow all these people. They got their own stuff going too, right? Like, it's so cool that we have like a lot of movers and shakers coming to this open mic. So you need to follow them, because you'll be like, yo, what am I going to do on Saturday? Where's Words? Where's La Bruja? They're watching Mr. Speaker. Come watch him too. All right. Mr. Tesu Somok, where is he? He's next. If you missed the Monday night online open mic, then you missed this man. He was smoothly dressed and he was matching his background and everything. I was highly impressed. And then the week before, he showed us him working on the farm. He ceases to amaze me. He is a bard in a room full of poets. Mr. Tesu Somok, it's good to see you. Floor is yours, brother.
Good to see you here on this side of the world on Thursday. So I have a piece titled Double Mutant Jumping Jim Crow. The mutations are not new, but it could make them more contagious and better at evading the body politic. First, it's incredibly serious. Second, it is probably just the tip of the iceberg and what we should worry about in the US. Come, listen, all you gals and boys. It's just from Tucky-Ho, and I don't mean putting them to bed. I'm going to sing a little song. My name is Jim Crow. We deserve a prosperous, democratic, secure, well-governed nation, even if we stole it. A competent state, strong rule of law, democratic accountability. This would make me wheel about and turn about and do this just so every time I wheel about, I jump Jim Crow. After 1812, to differentiate ourselves from British culture, we had to steal jumping Jim Crow from Jim Cuff, a physically disabled enslaved African who lived in St. Louis, Cincinnati, or Pittsburgh. We had to steal the music of slaves and African Americans to create a national identity. Don't worry, we did it for jazz in the 1930s. We did it for the blues in the 1960s. We did it for hip hop in the 1990s with Robert Van Winkle, AKA Vanilla Ice, baby. Thomas Rice, the minstrel of 1828, performed all over his daddy pops, Jim Crow. He tricked you, had you marching back and forth between the feet of a dead man named Ulysses S. Grant and another dead man named Robert E. Lee, singing, wheel about and turn about and do this just so every time I wheel about, I jump Jim Crow. Even centuries old Ku Klux Klan Act of 1871, which makes it a federal crime to conspire to prevent by force, intimidation, or threat to prevent someone from voting. We learned the lessons of China, of the Republic of China, which is strong, well-developed, but weak in rule of law and no democracy. Singapore has a rule of law, but very limited democracy. Russia has a rule of law, a state good at suppressing dissidents, but no good services, a weak rule of law. And as Mr. Speaker will tell you, a nation without discipline cannot make change. A weak nation can't enforce its own laws. While they make a chump out of you, make a fool out of you, make you think you're going somewhere, instead they got you singing, wheel about and turn about and do this just so every time I wheel about, I jump Jim Crow. The inherent conservatism tends to invest institutions with emotional significance. Once they're put in place, anyone who suggests abolishing white supremacy with something newer, better, faces a huge uphill struggle. As such as white supremacy is a lie, such as the November slogan, Stop the Steal, For this false ontology, Republican legislators introduced more than 250 bills creating barriers to voting, cutting early voting, purging voter rolls, limiting absentee options, and now in Georgia, outlawing poll bottled water. This is mutation number one, the virulent mutation of stop the steal to stop the vote. And want you to look away and keep singing. Will about and turn about and do this just so every time I will about and I jump Jim Crow. So the South finds itself in the hands of government segregationists, racists, white supremacists who disguise themselves as Dixiecrats and Republic Crows. In the North, they don't do it with Jim Crow, but with the left and right-winged northern bird they call gerrymandering. Here is where you find mutation number two. While Malcolm X asserted that African-American political primacy was the bullet or the ballot, the Dixiecrats and the Republic Crows have mutated to stop the ballot with the bullet. I kneel to the buzzard and I bow to the crow, and every time I will about I just jump just so.
Get some love in them webcams from Mr. Tessa Somoke. Dude, this dude is a professor, a bard in a room full of poets. Like, it's a poetic dissertation. That's how I feel. I feel like when you read so much of your stuff, it sounds like a poetic dissertation. Mr. Tessa Somoke, where can the people find Gaseous 2019 on Instagram? Where can they find him?
And I'll drop it on the chat, and thank you all. And keep willing about and doing that job, brother.
I love it. Mr. Tessa Somoke and his family, as I said, is talented. His niece did the picture in the background. She drew that. Awesome. At Gaseous 2019 on Instagram. Go give that dude a follow. Next up, I got Midnight. Where's Midnight at? I saw it. Oh, there he is. Yo, Midnight, did you see the intro video? I'll put you in your Mets gear. I'll put you in your Mets.
Because you ain't a hater. I love it, man. You ain't a hater.
I got love. I got love for you. Go ahead, brother. The floor is yours.
Yo, did you see the how the Mets won today?
Oh, nah. See, Yankees didn't play today, so there was no baseball.
Oh, okay. So that haiku won't work. I'm in the car. I'm not even. I'm rolling, and there's a lot of noise. So let me just do a couple haiku real quick. All right. Sports, music, travel. A necessary evil. The COVID vaccine. Hidden prejudice. Always an explanation. Must have done something. What is gun control? When encouraged to carry. Victim, me or you.
You got more for me, Midnight? Or
That's
no,
it, man. I'm
off.
driving and all that good stuff. I just parked real quick.
Cool. Yo, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Look at on the road. He's like, yo, I gotta check in with the fam. Wait, where'd you go? I lost you. Midnight. Where can the people find you online and the open mic that you host?
I thought up in the chat real quick.
All right,
boom.
Cool.
It's right there.
Oh, he was ready for it. Midnight. Look into the chat. He hosts his own open mic, and we still love him. Even though he's a Mets fan, like that's how good a dude he is. So shout out to you, Midnight. Love you, brother.
Much love, bro. Much love, fam.
Be safe on the road. That is Midnight. Give him a follow. Next up, I've got Unmesh Mohitkar, the man in India who is having breakfast with us. Let me unmute him. And the man whose book did the naughty with the New York sign on Monday. Umesh, it's good to see you, brother. The floor is yours.
Hello, Advocate, and thanks a lot for that grand gesture. Just loved it, man. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. And yes, Unmesh Mohitkar on Instagram, Facebook, Mohitkar Unmesh on Twitter. And I've got a book, Light Shadow Life on Amazon. And Love Letters to Gaia is coming on 22nd. Please have a look. Please buy. Thank you. So yes, two short one and one a bit longer one. So first one, the prompt was ensnare. So this is a poetry in 13. Ensnared in serpentine maze, unending thoughts. Ensnared in serpentine maze, unending thought. He jumped the queue, found his own path. He jumped the queue, found his own path. That was the first one. Second one is bottlenecks. Bottlenecks he saw. Bottlenecks he saw in love life. Wine bottle left unopened. Misery deepening, ripening. This was the second one. And there are two comets. The name of the first, Borisov and Oumuamua. They visited the earth. We don't know. They don't follow all the rules and everything. So Oumuamua was a surprise. It never used to, it did not follow any rules. Okay, so comets. So this is a sci-fi poem. Pristine, unspoiled, untouched. He came to visit the sun. Borisov, the comet. How can he ignore the sun's invitation? Was it an invitation or infatuation? Borisov did not visit any other suitors. Innumerable suns dancing on the floor of interstellar dance floor. The sun is in huge demand nowadays. The comets can't ignore his pull anymore. They just fall for him. Oumuamua, the rogue comet. He just wanted to see the sun. He forgot to camouflage himself. Earthlings were just waiting for the comet to make a mistake. As always, they were confused. Is it a comet or a spaceship? Don't understand the infatuation celestial beings have with the sun. Anyways, earthlings are not very good in understanding love at all. Comets just love solar system. It has got Earth. Where will they get a chance to confuse a whole living planet? They just come to confuse us. Once again telling us we are just a speckle in this grand scheme of things, and our sparkle is just limited to Earth. Oumuamua, Borisov, the unknown comets yet to visit Earth. They just continue to bamboozle, hoodwink, and delude us. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
I gotta give some love for Umesh. Yo, he went the whole sci-fi conspiracy alien thing. Like, yo, I love it. I think that's my new favorite poem from you. And I think what's funny is that a lot of us writers wrote our own conspiracy story about Uma. Like all of us. So to hear you do it, that's awesome. Umesh, let people know where they can find you and your book online.
Thanks. It's Unmesh Mohitkar, Instagram and Facebook. Light Shadow Life. It's available on Amazon. And I'm part of Love Letters to Gaia as well. That is going to come on 22nd. Please don't miss it. Thank you. It was Oumuamua at the New York. Thank you.
Umesh Mohitkar, man. I love it. This dude is a mainstay with us. He's out in India having breakfast right now. You know, some of us are at home smoking our funny cigarettes, winding down for the night, and he's just getting his day started. I love it. Next week coming up, something I don't get to do on Monday night, online open mic. I love hosting it, and I love doing it every Monday night. One thing I don't get to do is I don't get to hear music, and I don't get to introduce this man, Catman Bill. This is a smooth dude. Every time I check out Thursday nights and I'm hearing him rock out, he's a smooth dude. So I'm happy I'm getting the host and I get to say his name, Catman Bill. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you, Advocate. You know, you were the first host, or the first time I came on here on a Thursday, and you were subbing again. And well, I didn't get the break the cherry, but La Bruja busted my cherry after later on. Anyways, let me get into the song that I'd like to do. The song is Geronimo's Cadillac. It's an old song, and I used to wonder why the imagery of Geronimo in a Cadillac until I recently read about the impetus for writing the song. And in 1905, Geronimo was placed in a very fancy car. It wasn't a Cadillac, but it could have been. And he was a prisoner in the U.S. Army from 1886 to his death in 1909. But he used to be let out to do promotions and fairs. It was a very racist type of activity that the Army was letting him do. And anyways, the song is based around this photograph of Geronimo dressed in a top hat and a vest with a couple of Indian dress-up characters in the car. They put Geronimo in jail way down south, where he couldn't look the kid force in the mouth. Sergeant, Sergeant, don't you feel there's something wrong with your automobile? Warden, Warden, listen to me. Be brave and set Geronimo free. Governor, Governor, ain't it strange? They didn't have cars on the Indian Range. Oh, boys, take me back. In Geronimo's Cadillac. Boys, take me back. I wanna ride in Geronimo's Cadillac. White man, don't you know the Indians got no place to go? They took old Geronimo by storm. They took all his feathers from his uniform. Oh, boys, take me back. I wanna ride in Geronimo's Cadillac. Oh, boys, take me back. I wanna ride in Geronimo's Cadillac. Now Jesus said, I believe it's true. The red man belongs in the sunset too. Took all his lands and they won't give it back. And they sent Geronimo a Cadillac. Oh, boys, take me back. I wanna ride in Geronimo's Cadillac. Oh, boys, take me back. I wanna ride in Geronimo's Cadillac. Oh, boys, take me back. I wanna ride in Geronimo's Cadillac. Thank you.
Let's get some love in our cameras for Catman Bill. I love it. I love it. I'm from the Bronx, so I secretly hate people who can do things that I can't do, like sing and play guitar. So I secretly hate you. But I really enjoyed that, Catman Bill. I'm from the Bronx. That's how we do, man. That's what we do. We're like, oh, I want to be able to do that.
I love being hated, so that's all right.
That means that you're doing something great, right? Like no use in hating something that's not worth it, right?
That's right.
That's awesome. Catman Bill, where can the people find you and your smooth music? Do you have your music online?
Well, I have my own compositions on YouTube under Catman Bill Cats, Hartford, Connecticut. That's where I'm from. I guess the algorithms would open up to that to those videos. But thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've introduced you, so I didn't remember that. I was like, oh yeah, wait, he's been on YouTube. I've checked this stuff out. Make sure you look him up. Catman Bill, Hartford, Connecticut. Wait, Catman Bill Cats, Hartford, Connecticut.
Right.
Okay. You got to shorten it down. Make it easy for people. Unfortunately, people don't have very long attention, span of attention. So Catman Bill Cats, Hartfield, Connecticut on YouTube. Are you on Instagram or Facebook?
I closed my Facebook account, so I'm not going to reopen it this time. I've had a love-hate relationship with it, but now it's just hate. So, but no, I put my stuff on YouTube and live with that.
I hate you. I need to do the same thing, but it's another long conversation we could have. Catman Bill, brother, it's a pleasure to see you and hear you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cat, man, I love that. This is why I love Thursday nights, man. I mean, I love my Monday nights. I would not trade it for the world. But this is what I love about Thursday nights. Get something we wouldn't be able to get on Mondays. Next up, we are going to Lopi LaRoe. Where is she? I saw her. Wait, I saw her. I lost you, Lopi. Where? There she is. I see it. Lopi LaRoe, another artist who is multi-talented, not just a writer, but also a visual artist. I love having her on, not only because of her talent and her stream of thought as her poems go, but like I love saying her name. Isn't that like such an artist name? Lopi LaRoe. I love it. Lopi, good to see you. Floor is yours.
Thanks, bro. It's good to see you. I was surprised to see you were hosting tonight because I missed Monday, and I was like, yeah. So awesome. I've been struggling through some new work today. This first one is short and it's unfinished, but it's kind of just like, it's important and difficult. There is more that connects us than separates us. A common enemy unifies a fractured people. What if our common enemy is our identity? Have you ever been told that your tears, your pain was the most savory thing to drink by a total stranger because of the color of your skin? Have you ever been told that your tears, a whole cup full of them, is the most intoxicating thing imaginable, and then an entire room full of faceless voices congratulate the drinker of your tears? How can you be so heartless, especially those who care about strangers? But not me. No, not me. I was born stained. I was conceived in original sin. I can never be cleaned or redeemed. I am no better than dust. I am not your sister or your friend, just a symbol of what unifies you. Have you ever been treated like a non-human, not worthy of compassion? You want to drink my tears? Go ahead. Fortify your hate. That's on you. Poem.
Put some finger snaps, waves, energy into your webcam for Lopi LaRoe.
This one is dedicated to moms. We lost another poet today, or did the universe gain another verse? Can we even lose anything, everything we ever knew? Can you really ever have anything that you never knew? Is anything ever new but what we already grew before the ashes of those who went before the dew? It is never a loss. Energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. What do you own if not even your own body? My body belongs to the stars. What do you own if not even those eyes you peer through to the masses? We are massive like bombs, love bombs, dissemination, disintegration, dust nation. Have you ever been to Queens? That's where all the dead people live. If everyone is here for a reason, for a season to change us, who do we allow to rearrange us on the cellular? Does authenticity grow on forgotten trees in the city? Low-hanging fruit, staining the sidewalk blue. No one even knew you could eat it because it wasn't wrapped in plastic and labeled food, all neat. What is food but the sustenance that causes us to dance through this existence? True as a truth berry's staining lips, hungry for the sweetness of the real. Give us this day your realness, your real mess, the best of your worst, what you only show your secret thirst. What brings you to your knees, wounded, stained with forgotten fruit? The pavement burns. Remember? The world, it churns like butter, but what could be better than batter to your pancake matter brain cells escaped? They splattered and shattered divine divinity. Divine the water with that rod that God gave you. Why do we require death to remind us to praise life? Why do we require death to praise life? Those lives we forgot to call back alive. Eulogize the living while we can still hear it and eat the words like soul pancakes, the best food, better than your mother's special pie. What did we throw up into the sunset sky of another life? Goodbye. Wake up each morning and thank death for another day on this blessed planet. Thank the neighbor you hate for the lessons they bring. Thank the new day, mercilessly, appreciatively. When did you lose it, your authenticity? When did you lose it, your voice? I mourned for a bit dead poet I never knew tonight, but how many poetical ancestors are holding this mic, even before electricity came to be? Poetry is the ashes of your dead mother. Poetry is the tiny feet of your living daughter. Poetry is a tree about to burst into green. The poetry, the potential. Poetry is a living being, orchestrating us all to speak. The invisible hands on our typewriter minds. Turn on the high beams of your mental streams long enough to blindingly shine in me liquid energy like quicksilver. Is it your time? Do not dim that shine. Don't go quietly. We are all one thing. We are all one. We are we. Done.
Lopi LaRoe. I love Lopi. Lopi, you were like artist. You know, and like you're so given in your poetry and in your writing, like you called it like stream of thought. That's how like I hear it, and it's like, and it works like an artist stream of thought works, and I love it. Lopi, where can the people find you online?
You can see my street art. I'm a street artist. You can see my art here, and this is my Instagram handle. And thank you, Advocate, for hosting, Thursday night and Monday night, and just thanks for holding space. It's a wonderful community. Thank you, everybody, for being here and listening and sharing.
Thank you, Lopi. Thank you for being part of our community and adding your voice, Lopi LaRoe. Like I said, a visual artist too. Like, here I am. I'm like, hey, I'm this great poet. Look at me. And then the other people are like, yeah, I'm a good poet. I'm a good visual artist. Look at me play the guitar and look smooth. And you can't words. Yeah, I see y'all. All right. Next coming up is Sarah Erin. Sarah Erin. She's starting to be known for her spicy but mushy stuff as well. Sarah Erin, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Sarah also rocked out the Monday night online open mic 1 year anniversary, and then she's ready to rock out here on Thursday. Sarah, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So I do have two little mushy blurbs, but I'm gonna switch up for my poem tonight because, as some of my poetry family here knows, I got accepted to Pace University this past week. And I'm going to be moving to New York soon, but I wouldn't have been able to have enough confidence to do that and take my poetry seriously if it wasn't for my aunt who motivated me to start doing that. So I'm going to do a poem for her after these little blurbs. But here's the first little blurb. I love a woman who calls everyone she cares for honey. Sometimes I wonder if the bees can keep up. And the second little blurb that I have is, you leave a ring around the perimeter of my heart the same way my favorite mug stains the counter. I never wipe yours away. All right, so here is my poem. And as I kind of said, this is a poem that I wrote for my Aunt Merrill, who probably is already sleeping, but she'll see this tomorrow, I guess. It's called In All Honesty. As a little girl, trips into the village with you were the ultimate bonding experience and defining moments for me. I remember smiles so wide they traveled from my mouth to my cheeks and my eyes. When I spent quality time with you, I felt as special as the finest diamond necklace I have ever owned. I wore that heart as if it was a safe hug around my neck for years, so I had a reminder that I was deeply loved until the chain broke. Your chain never broke. I remember having sleepovers with you where we would joke about pillow fights and being crazy by jumping on the bed even after we just made it. I would laugh so hard my ribs felt like a marathon runner with a leg cramp, but it would just make me laugh harder until my diaphragm squeezed, reminding me to breathe. My fondest memory with you was when a scared 14-year-old me ironically sat on the floor of your closet, looked at all of your gorgeous shoes, and told you that I was gay. You were the first person who wasn't my mom or my brother that I told in our family, and you made me feel so safe. I don't think I ever told you that. Thank you. At the time, I had no idea how telling that precious moment would become. I am immensely glad that I have grown into a woman who admires your unfaltering ability to love someone so deeply it results in unfiltered honesty. As a little girl who dreamt of NYU, I never imagined that you would be the person to lovingly shove me onto the right path. I am the luckiest woman to have you have my back, even when your hands are there to give me an uncomfortable but desperately needed push. Thank you.
Sarah Erin, put some love in the webcam for Sarah Erin. And it's Aunt Merrill, you said?
Yeah, my Aunt Merrill.
Shout out to Aunt Merrill, who didn't get to watch this live, but it's me speaking to you from the past. You did a good job. Thank you so much. We love Sarah. Sarah, where can the people find you online?
All right, so my poetry Instagram is at @SarahErin_the_poet, and my website is www.saraheronauthor.com. That's where I am. Come visit me.
SarahErinAuthor.com? SarahErinAuthor.com. And I love the mushiness, the honey and the bees. I like that. I caught that too. Awesome. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Sarah Erin bringing the mushy tonight. I really like that. I really like that. Oh, and I've rocked out at Pace before, and I've been down in that area. It's a really cool area. You know, hopefully we'll be past this pandemic, and then you can really enjoy that area because it is at its best when it's busy down there. That's near the seaport. So, okay, where is Ron Mark Thompson? Ron Mark Thompson, and I'm sorry, Ron, I meant to talk about, like, I saw you getting it nicely dressed up and put together for the anniversary as well. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. And your smiley face is different. I hope everything's okay, but we're about to hear from you. Go ahead, the floor is yours.
You are so perceptive that you notice that. Yes, you're right. And I have another pillar, so good. But stick around, it's going to be very quick. Hi, Advocate. Good to see you today. I am in a maze. I promise not to snitch to Labrour that you're now also hosting on Thursdays. The cafe's online open mic anniversary celebration on Monday was great. I'm looking forward to the next weeks. I cannot wait. For today, I wrote a silly, short, 4-minute story containing words that all start with an S. But after reviewing it myself, I think it's not ready for the press. So instead, as Scott Pleasant's name starts with an S as well, I want to extend to the waitlist my gratitude and spell. I want to make today my first time I'm giving up my spot. And I have a suggestion I like to make so you can laugh a lot. And I'm going to stop my silly rhymes. And yes, I've never done the Scott Pleasant's move, Advocate, if you can explain to others. But my short story can wait till next week, unless we get through the waiting list today. I'm staying here till the end. But let me know if I can suggest a name from the waiting list.
Yeah, if you want, the way it's supposed to work though is that you don't do a poem.
Sorry.
It takes some time. That's why. That's why. I loved your poem though. I loved it. So, but hopefully we will be able to get to the waiting list. That's why I am trying to get through it. And if I'm looking at someone on, yeah, I think I've seen all these names before. I'm not sure. Ron, where can it let the people know where they can find you online? And Marissa Prada, I heard your message. So go ahead, Ron.
I'm Ron Mark Thompson or Bronx Autumn BXAFH, and I'll be here Mondays and Thursdays.
Make sure that you give Ron a follow because he is involved in a lot of things as well. I met him in a writing workshop. This dude knows everyone and everything. So appreciate him. Give him a follow, Ron Mark Thompson. And I'm checking for them smiley faces now in the back all the time. Like, is it going to depict his mood? All right. I've got Thomas Connor, who is I respect him for being a Mets fan because he's got an incredibly great, heartfelt reason, and as a father, I understand and I appreciate it. Thomas can kick ass, man. I didn't know that. Thomas, floor is yours, man.
What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing? So I'm gonna just gonna spit this poem. It was written to one of your prompts, so you know, I'm always rebellion, never doing. I never really do your prompts, but my bad. This time I did it. I'm good. All right. What's next is there to come? What fiend lies in the horizon, prepping our crypts? Our eulogy can be heard, this solemn dirge, dripping the shape of inequity, as we scramble to hide our hides. Our collective lucidity dwindles, becoming opaque in its shape. The ferocity of imbalance, tinkering on the edge of insanity, fading our speech into obscurity. We, ghosts and silent shells, haunting streets that were never paved for us. Hopeless, becoming victims to the wind of change that never seems to change, only stagnate. The stench, putrid and rotting, our lucidity silenced, emancipation just a dream. It feels like we're living in the time of cholera. But our herd will one day be carved into its immunity.
Some love in the webcam for Thomas Connor. I love it. Poetic license, man. When you say what's next, you can flip it however way you want. And it's okay, Thomas. You never have to do my prompts because I found out like you could really kick ass. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna be able to kick your ass. You've got like 26 different levels of black belt that I didn't even know existed. So
it's actually 3. So it's 3, but I'd rather shake hands and spit poetry and dance and watch the Mets and watch the Yankees lose against the Mets. Like I'm for that.
Yeah, you lost me when you went to the baseball. You lost me when you went to the Thomas, where can people find you?
Everyone. You could get me at Facebook, Thomas Connor, and TAC7371 on Instagram. Peace, y'all.
Thomas Connor. And again, I am filling in for La Bruja. I saw she posted on Facebook. I don't know what the link was, but maybe she checked in real quick. Shout out to her. So for those of you who may be unfamiliar with the Thursday Night Online Open Mic, we do this every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. We do music and comedy and poetry, whatever you want. Normally, it is hosted by La Bruja, and you can follow her at La Bruja NYC. And when you spell Bruja, it's with a J, not an H, because it's Spanish, just in case you don't know. B-R-U-J-A. So it spells like Bruja in English, but it's Bruja, La Bruja at La Bruja NYC. And now we have another person. Now, one of the traditions La Bruja has is she sings the Pop the Cherry song for the person who performs for the very first time. Catman Bill had mentioned that. That's something I'm not going to do because I don't think it's going to come off very well if I do it, but she does it great and it's awesome. So if this next person, this is your first time performing, okay, the next time you perform on Thursday night and La Bruja's hosting, just lie to her and say you've never done it before so that she can do this for you. But I don't know, maybe you've performed before. Is Brad Geyer here? Is that Bradman? Brad Geyer, are you Bradman? Yes. I don't know if you're shaking. Give me a thumbs up if that's you. Yes, it is. I thought so. And now I'm trying to unmute you. There you go. There you go. I'm sorry. I'm unfamiliar with you. Should I call you Bradman or Brad or?
It's Bradman, like a mix of Superman and Brad Pitt. That's me.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that. Dude, I like you already. I don't think this is your first time performing ever, is it?
Yeah, what's up, Advocate Awards? It's nice to meet you. I've been coming on and off to New York since like 2013 with a lot of really long breaks in between. So I've been coming back to the Thursday for the past couple weeks, and it's been nice.
Awesome, man. Well, there's something tells me that you know how to rock, so I'm just gonna mute myself, get out.
And I
Hey,
just
let
got
me
this
hear it.
new blazer from Costco. I'm really excited about try it out. You know, I don't get to wear this much out anymore, right? So I just want to see how it looks. All right, this is a piece about New York City. It's called Boot Camp. New York City is boot camp. Barely living off food stamps. Too damp, humid fumes fueling nude roof tans and stoop jams. This heat is hot. It's a tire fire. Burning rubber. Melting pot. Smoking pot. Either way, it's burning. Keep that spark all day after dark. Earning. We're determined. It's the only way to make it without jumping off the Times Square bleachers naked. You got to know what you want and take it. Fake it like you own every edifice, because this city here is a motherfucker like Oedipus. Hold up. We are delayed because of train traffic ahead of us. I mean, that's what they said it was. The MTA is not exactly dropping facts, more like the train dropping bodies. Crack! Now here's some wax sacks while they clean up the tracks. This city is war. Truly. You don't live here. You do a tour of duty. Sort of cute, but worn and moody, torn between the two. Like I wore and tore my new jacket, snagged it, dung jackass on a nail like a thumbtack, attacked it from the plywood lining the sidewalk where I'd walk while hard hats causing a racket. Ripped my back like a packet of ketchup, but catch up. Because if you can't handle that destruction from the construction obstructing your path, you can't hack it. It's not the big apple your mom put for a snack in a bag lunch when she packed it. You dig it? If you can't take your lick, split. There's no Jiminy Cricket. Southwest.com. Click it and book a ticket. There are other places to live. Places that forgive. New York City does not forgive you. It forgets you. It'll forget you ever existed the second your apartment is listed. Before you even kissed it goodbye, the city's eating Thai with some new guy, suit and tie with gluten-free soup and rice and a high price high rise. And surprise, his prying eyes are scooting real close to a prize, glutes and thighs, making moves, tries the second you disappear. But this city forgets you're even here. There's 8 million people. If you're not out there catching the deep ball, you're just playing street ball. These roads are not just where your feet fall. This pavement has meaning. Meaning, you don't live where it's so hot or so freezing, depending on the season, without a damn good reason. I mean, let's be blunt. Rent is $9,000 a month. You buy a weekly Metro card, swipe it once, and spend 7 days waiting for the honking horns is that sweating summer song, man. Not even back from the liquor store, and your wine is gone. Stuck behind tourists, slowly walking, sidewalk hogging. Next thing you know, you're going jogging. Can't see the stars. Too many cars. Too many bars to get sauced in. City you can lose your mind and get lost in. You want the good life? Move to Boston. Cheaper cost with winning football tossed in. Move somewhere nice. Portland, Denver, Austin. But know that no matter how hard the Lone Star State flexes, this city is bigger than Texas. It's where you learn what sex is, where everything all still feels new for you. This city's a Lexus. The rest is a Subaru. It's like all that putting Milkman against Super Dude. This is the city you know putts in, the city that butts in, the city that'll kick your nuts and spill your guts in the Hudson, a city with a million ways to die in, but nowhere else on earth you can feel more alive in. Am I lying? If you're not in New York, then you're not even trying. You can hop off the island, 5-hour bus ride and arrive, or 5 and 6 cities where most of your life isn't spent just surviving. but we're here for a reason. So get busy grinding or get busy driving. Thank you.
Get some love in your webcams for Brad, man. Brad Pitt and Superman had a baby, and it was Brad, man. Brad, man, your poem was awesome. Right now, you got a lot of haters, a lot of people who are out of New York, and they don't have a poem that awesome to represent their city. But I'm a New Yorker, so I loved every second of it. Except I do got to say one thing, Brad, man. I think it's a little outdated. The Boston football isn't winning anymore. Okay, I just wanted that everything else on point.
No, that's a good point. I hadn't even thought of that. You're right.
But I loved your energy and just the way, and Mr. Speaker earlier talked about setting the tone. You set the tone immediately, and I loved it. You are a performer, and I knew it by the way you set the tone. Brother, where can we find you online other than Thursday nights here?
Hey, I'm the real Brad man everywhere.
The real Brad. Now wait, the real Brad man is everywhere, or is everywhere part of
the real Brad man on Instagram, therealbradman.com. Only trick is the email, just real Brad man.
Okay. I love. Make sure you put that info in the chat too. People like to copy and paste.
And I just want to introduce everybody to my friend Whitney. Whitney Salgado has been coming in here every week and supporting everyone, and she really she's looking forward to performing one week and just wants to get to know everybody. And she's humiliated right now, and I'm very sorry, but yeah, we're looking forward to having her perform real soon.
I love humiliating people, so I am going to spotlight Whitney right now. So it's big on everyone's screen. That is Whitney Salgado, who he is talking about for everywhere in the Zoom chat. We all see you now, Whitney. And I do remember Whitney because Whitney has been checking out Monday Night Online Open Mic as well, and she came to the anniversary show. So shout out to those who come and support. And another shout out to Brad, man, for understanding the importance of people who come and support, man. I appreciate you, man. The real Brad man.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm gonna look you up. Thank you very much. The real Brad man. You look everywhere. I know that the social media is the real Brad man. I enjoyed that Jersey's mad right now. Whatever New York City. All right. Ed Poetastic is next. Let me unmute him. Ed Poetastic.
What up, Advocate?
I got your name right. And it's Ed Foreman 92 on Instagram.
Exactly. See, fantastic. You're incredible.
I love it. Go ahead, sir. The floor is yours.
Sure, no problem. Thank the host of the most that always deserves a toast. My name is Ed Poetastic, but now I'm Ed Fireman. So if you guys don't know, I want you to it's gonna be very spicy in here. So if you have any kids or anything like that, please put your headphones on, please, or earbuds, wireless headphones. Yes. Okay, this is called Sweet Frigid Air. The air is cold, frigid and sweet. Beyond this boring door, you look so ravishing in your heat. My sexy sun that burns my core. My dear, you were only red lipstick and heels. Your section just oozes out. It sends my volcano to chills. It caused my euphoria to shout. I kiss you like you were made of chocolate. You carelessly giggle in delight. You're my dear blue sonnet. You would be called the pink limelight. Your cries sound like toots from a locomotive. You turn into a big strawberry. Your body bathed in red roses. You're wetter than a nicely picked berry. As she played my saxophone, she blows, blows, and blows. She sat so firm, just like stone. She tuned away my midnight shadows. I talked to her juicy peach. She gasps without ends. She loves to hear me whisper, sing, and preach over, and over again. She was ready to ride this roller coaster. I'm going to be a bumpy ride. She was hotter than any toaster, her eyes and mouth open wide. She shaked like a leaf in the wind, eyes as white as pale snow. Her spirit quickly transcends. She was covered in this mystical halo. We ran a marathon or naked mile. She fell asleep next to me. We're going to be here a while. Dance the days away in our scorching ecstasy. Thank you.
Ed Poetastic, give it up for him in the webcam. Him and his dirty, dirty, dirty mind. Ed, I know I said it earlier, but please repeat it. Where can the people follow you online?
Sure, you can follow me at Ed Foreman92 or IG. You can follow me at Eddie Foreman. And don't worry, I don't do just about erotic stuff. I just do it just at night. I do good pod stuff in the day. So, you know, just to flesh out the great, great, wonderful, and poetastic, poetic, and poet-credible art of poetry. So keep writing and keep inspiring and keep on firing. Woo!
So keeping it balanced. Just real quick before I let you go. Is your Instagram safe for work?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because that poem wasn't, but you know, I love it. Ed Foreman92 on Instagram, Eddie Foreman on Facebook. Ed Poetastic is his name. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
You're poetastic, my brother.
Thank you. I try, man. I try. Y'all make me look good. My exes are so pissed off because of y'all. Okay, next coming up is, wait, I had it and I lost it. Oh, Joski. Yes, Joski is the mainstay here on the Thursday night online open mic. Always giving us tunes, always leading us into some type of rebellion where we're tossing shit and burning shit and all that kind of stuff. I love it. Joski, the floor is yours.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Sound beautiful, brother.
Wonderful. This is a song I really wrote a long time ago. It's called Sad House. When a man beats his spouse in a sad house, control is what it's all about in a sad house. Well, the most important thing is to get away somewhere safe. This violence won't end. Take a chance, my friend. Start again. A safe new beginning. Talking to the man now. Is it true you two were bruised in a sad house? He beat your mama and your siblings too. What a sad house. Well, there's a sickness inside you, and it's time to change. Become sane. This violence you do, it's no good to lie. We see through you, and it's so wrong to ever hurt a woman. Someone beats a spouse in a sad house. Control is what it's all about in a sad house. Well, the most important thing is to get away somewhere safe. This violence won't end. Take a chance, my friend. Start again. A safe new beginning. In a sad house. What a madhouse. In an angry house. What a sad house. In a madhouse. an angry house, in a sad house, in a sad house.
Let's flash our fingers in the webcam for Joe Ski.
Thank you. Thank you, Advocate.
Oh, you are always like so giving, brother. You are always so giving of your spirit, and like you are another person I look as like as an artist, and I could just like imagine you spending the whole day working on music or going over old tunes, getting lost in that feeling again. Like I love it. I love your energy. I love that you're showing your range and writing about different things and covering different topics. It's like, hey, look, I'm not always in the street burning shit down, causing revolution. Like I can turn inward too. I love seeing that range. Joeski, I know that your email is right here on your Zoom, but is there somewhere else that also the people can follow you or maybe hear your music?
It's just Joeski C everywhere. I mean, Joeski C on Instagram and whatever. I'm just kind of beginning to, I've been putting some haikus out on Instagram and just kind of getting the feel of the social media thing just a little bit. Working on an album, so I'll let you know.
That's what's up. I already know a bunch of heads went like this in the Zoom because I got the gallery open. So yeah, you better do that. Joeski, have you ever heard of OnlyFans?
No.
I'm making a joke. It's only a joke. People go onto OnlyFans mostly take their clothes off on social media. I was just making a joke. But hey, man, I don't know, mate. Yo, maybe you could get some money that way too, whatever. But please, you know that we love you here in the online open mics, even from the Monday crew, sending love to you over here on Thursday. If you get that album done, please let the people know they would support.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Joeski C, and C as in like the water. We're gonna go swim and chill in the water. Joeski C, look this brother up, man. Next coming up, I have a dude who right now is seething at Bradman because he is from New Jersey.
It's all love between the path train. It's all good.
Paul Conqueso. And of course, I'm just messing with him for all of you who may be new to the online open mics. Yo, I got a lot of love for Paul. So every now and then I pull a chance and I poke the bear. Paul, it is a pleasure to see you. Paul will be joining me on April 17th doing a workshop. So I'm gonna do about 2.5 hours. Paul's gonna do a half hour. He keeps trying to make it shorter. I keep telling him, no, it's gonna go longer. It's like, I don't want to step on your toes. And I'm like, no, we're gonna be in sync. Let's dance, mother effer. So he's gonna do a whole half hour on April 17th. I'm looking forward to it. He already did one for the New Yo. But right now, we're gonna hear his poetry. So go ahead, Paul. The floor is yours, brother.
We're gonna be in sync like bye, bye, bye. No strings attached. All right. So if y'all also want to see, Joeski is gonna be performing at an event I'm actually coordinating with one of my students at the school that I teach at, Bloomfield College, that Sarah Aaron is also going to be at, Tori Lutz is also going to be at, called Survivor Showcase. That's going to be 2 weeks from tonight. I'll get out invitations to y'all when we have those proper. But yeah, I got a few different pieces. I've been really inspired by the 30 for 30. So I'm in a group on Facebook that just gives prompts, and I've been writing like sometimes 2 poems a day. So I just want to spew out some new shit that I got. A few really short and then one like schmedium piece. So a little bit different from me, no epics. So this is called Random Triangles Redux. Why does it always seem your classes most likely to succeed end up entangled in pyramid schemes? All right. This second one is just random triangles. When your rapist pops up in Facebook suggested friends, there's not much suspense trying to triangulate the 9 degrees of Kevin Bacon that tether you to this trigger of folks you may know. And you can't fight the antediluvian wave that floods back their naked body, that scraggly patch on Mons pubis, a random triangle of wiry black tangle poking at wild angles, wishing you held an eraser for genitalia, some absentia pill or proton pack to compartmentalize the potent ghosts of these repressed memories. But since You don't hold any remedy to this Venus flytrap of suffering. You relent to its clutch of you in grip as you go limp, wondering if all your objections sounded anything like drunken guttural yeses. And since Zuckerberg hasn't yet patented, sold, and benefited off this algorithm yet, you swipe to regret, you swipe to reject, to dismiss this reliving, but you don't forget. This next piece is a little bit lighter. It's no real transition out of that. This is called Unicorns and Stray Cats. We were all once unicorns, galloping and gallivanting, our hooves exploring new terrains curious, nuzzling manes in the nape of unbridled self-love. Herds of us dubbed a blessing. But then one day, the magic slayers put shame in us, sizing us up, prized for our horniness, internalizing this colonized mindset, sawed off our greatest gift, shotgunning glimpses of normalcy, our former phantasmagorical tusks in clutches of hunters taxiderming us, harassed into cattle packs, housebroken, domesticated. We no longer glide plains unbridled, saddled by mortality, and thus we stray from our destruction, slinking and scavenging like clutters of alley cats, desperate to huff that majestic dust which once made us magical. All right, this is my last piece. It's called Party of Gestures. It's my motherfucking party, so I'll get high and cry if I damn well please. As a man, I've been taught that any sign or form of sensitivity, like, say, poetry, proves me weak, and that's a disease, so I must code it. No emotion, head buried in knees, this audible Wilhelm scream, like Munch on the bridge with me, pondering if these voices of doubt can reach some armistice, form of release or peace, that maybe then the real world would rock with me. Party of labors like party favors given out to my best behaved demons, possibly. Lighter hearted, finally sought therapy. No longer ferrying Atlas shrugged, weight on knees, projections of grief, dysmorphia, PTSD, and anxiety slinging arrows of doubt at my Achilles tendon of how will I be seen? Juggling masks of masculine in this carnival of gestures wasn't till I fled from empty gestures and forced facades of what I should be. Toxic cloaks hand holding me, flipping the bird to these lesser angels of disbelief. I am not imposter syndroming. I am fucking good enough. I am not the broken boy's body tethered to the earth before his burial. I am every bird in a sky called free, because this is my party and I will fly as high as I want to.
Yes, strong ending. Give it up for Paul Conqueso. Always so giving, man. Paul always goes where writers are afraid to go. We're afraid to go and look at and face our own demons. So, like, yo, props to you and your bravery, Paul. Mr. Paul Conqueso. Brother, where can the people find you online?
Follow me at Paul Conqueso on IG and Venmo.
IG, Venmo, Paul Conqueso. April 17th, he'll be hosting a workshop with me. And when is your show coming up?
April 22nd, but we're not locked into a time yet. Either 7 or 8, not conflicting with the open mic. So,
okay, cool. Oh, cool. Wait, don't you have? Isn't the Gaia?
Yes, it's that day is a busy day for me, so I'm jumping around. But
love letters to God, and then hosting your own trip. You're a busy man. It's the beard's fault. I'm telling you, Paul. Been getting more gigs since I grew the beard out.
There's a gravitational pull to our beards, brother.
And I'm all for it. All right, Paul Conqueso, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. And I don't care what he says. He's just being a good dude. He really hates the Brad man, but it's all right, Brad man, because I like you. You're my new best friend. I love it. The urban cowboy poet, the man who shares the legends. I love it. One day I will be good enough to be a legend because the urban cowboy poet will write about me and he will post it on his YouTube page. We will hear about that after we hear his legend. Brother, the floor is yours.
Howdy. I was going to do a legend I did for you on Monday, I hadn't done on Thursday, but then you showed up. And you said how you miss music on Monday. So I'm not going to do a legend. I'm going to do some singing. This is my answer to Billy Joel. Billy Joel's the exact same age as I, but he recorded the song The Longest Time when he was in his 30s. And he should realize by now no man in his 30s can have the slightest concept of the longest time. So I wrote this song, my version, for the same man singing to the same woman 50 or 60 years later. Whoa, 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 for the longest time. Whoa, whoa, for the longest. If you said goodbye to me today, I might say, who are you anyway? But what can I do? Sometimes I forget my name too. I've not been all there for the longest time. I get lost on walks that I go on. Maybe you'll be sorry when I'm gone. I get weird glances. I forget to zip my pantses. I haven't zipped them for the longest time. Whoa, 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 for the longest time. Whoa, whoa, for the longest. Stop the voice I'm hearing in my head. It's a miracle that I'm not dead. Oh, how I need you. I hope you've needed me too. I've not been all there for the longest time. Maybe I won't last very long. I think I'm all right, but I could be wrong. Maybe I shouldn't be driving my car, but I've come this far, and it's more than I hoped for. Once I wished my impotence was gone. With Viagra, happiness goes on. Before the blue pill, I tried to make it work with sheer will. That hasn't happened for the longest time. Keeping me alive is an art. An implant device holds on to my heart. I know you're the woman that I wed when I take my meds, and that's all I can hope for. I don't care for all the gifts you bring. I feel like a fool when I lose things. My memory's so bad, but I will always know that we have loved each other for the longest time. Whoa, 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 for the longest time. Whoa, whoa, for the longest time. Thank you very much.
Get some energy in your webcam for the urban cowboy poet. Oh my God. You understand? First off, I love Billy Joel. I know I'm from the Bronx and I grew up in hip hop, but I love Billy Joel and I love that song. And I love the way you flip. That is hilarious. Oh, Urban Cowboy Poet. I had mentioned about you got stuff on YouTube. Let the people know where they can find you, please.
Not the song, but my legends are on YouTube. Urban Cowboy Poetry and Facebook. And if you got an idea for a legend, there's my email too. I'm trying to get an agent, a traditional publisher interested. So if you could follow me, subscribe, like me, it'll do better. The platform will get somebody interested.
The Urban Cowboy Poet and Urban Cowboy Poetry on YouTube.
Urban Cowboy Poetry on both YouTube and Facebook.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. The Urban Cowboy Poet. Look up Urban Cowboy Poetry. How awesome was that? Especially for me, a Billy Joel fan, man. I love Billy Joel. I love the writing of his songs. Awesome. I met him once. He is real short. Nisa, you're probably taller than Billy Joel, but it's really late, so Nisa's probably not here anymore. All right. Jim Relissimo is next. Let me unmute him. I got to look over the Monday Night Online Open Mic 1 year anniversary. And he says some incredibly grateful things. It was very moving. And on my Facebook, Jeremy Lissimo, thank you so much, brother, for your love and appreciation and the support you give. And I don't believe for 1 second that you were nervous or scared about sharing your poetry, because you always come on here and you were confident and you were in your zone and you were in your own voice, not just trying to be anyone else. And I love it. And we love having you here. I'm gonna stop talking. The floor is yours, brother.
Didn't I get on this list by the skin of my teeth this week, huh? And I got in right at 9 o'clock, and still it must have been like God only knows how many seconds. You do that timing every week, don't you? How long it took for it to fill up?
Well, I did it for Thursday because I'm like the last second. I didn't check before Mondays. I checked, and yeah, it can go by in like 15, 20 seconds. But
That's
you got
it's crazy. Yeah, I thought I got it. I thought I'd be like at the first of the list, but no. Okay, let's see what I got for you today. I'm going to be like some queso. I'm just pulling stuff from my 30/30s and all the new stuff we've been doing in the past week or so. So wait, hold on. This is not the right file. I have a thing that says New Yo today. Okay, here we go. We're going to start off with a haiku. I think I did this on Monday because I wrote it on Monday. It's called A Genetic Blood Disease with No Cure. We are family whose blood coursing through our veins creates poetry. Haiku number 2, Addicted to Horse. I am not sure why I am using horseradish with all of my meals. Number 3, when I don't have to say, oh shit. Someone dared to ask me what my idea of a good day was. And then this is called The Certain Imminent Danger of Farmers Markets and Trips to Target. I don't want to relive the day I thought I was dying, when my lungs filled with fluid and the walls of my lungs absorbed the fluid, which continued on a loop until I was out of breath, could barely move, called 911 and was wheeled away in an ambulance for a 7-day, 6-night spa vacay, replete with multiple needles, 24-hour blood pressure monitoring, synchronized scheduled nebulization, and very narrow hospital beds with thin, uncomfortable mattresses. I think I'd like to relive the day before and decide to not go to one of the multiple locales I had decided to go to. When I passed a stranger as they coughed or touched a surface and touched my face, at the exact second I contracted a microscopic virus while committing random acts of minutia. This is called The Futility Room. I spend so much time waiting, the time I don't spend waiting seems futile. Maybe Louis Vuitton will get into the artificial lung biz. The anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers don't seem to understand that with each next variant and every new wave, their lungs become luxuries their bodies may not be able to afford. How unicorns happen. When a rhino gets an albino hair transplant and gastric bypass. This is called departure. To quote poet David White from The Journey, you are not leaving, you are arriving. When you wake from slumber, you arrive at a new day. When you decide to go to Target rather than Walmart, you arrive at a store that chose lighting that is not depression-inducing. When you buy produce from a farmer's market, you arrive at a healthier diet. When you watch a movie at a theater on a big screen, you arrive to a more immersive experience. When you think a poem, you arrive at words destined to be read or heard by others, even if you never write it down or type it into a keyboard. Poets who keep their poetry as secrets recite their poems aloud when they decide to roll their eyes or scratch their heads. Every gesture becomes hidden metaphors released into the atmosphere and minds of others. A poet cannot avoid their poetry having a mind of its own, anticipating escaping the poet's brain and arriving where fate takes it. Once a poet thinks a poem, the poet has arrived at being a poet. Thank you, everyone.
Let's get some love in our webcams for Generalissimo. Yo, you went everywhere tonight, and that's how I've described him. Like, he goes to every different mic and workshop, and you have to be versatile and have depth, and I feel like Generalissimo has that, and I feel like you got a glimpse into that because you went everywhere, everything. And that freaking unicorn, that was a haiku?
Yes, that was one of the, there's one of these 30/30 sites gives you, had a unicorn and stray cats or something like that. And
I love it. I love it. Generalissimo, you have to have new fans today. Where can the people follow you?
Oh, yes. I didn't put this in. So get this, there we go. So I also have 2 different features, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. The Saturday one is with Jeff Cottrell at Marissa Prada's The Word Is Right. The Sunday one is with Creative Expressions New York City, 5 p.m. Eastern. that's out of Harlem, and it's a wonderful group of people. I just can't say enough about them, and it's certainly worthwhile to go to and read at. And then I'm going to be in Love Letters to Gaia. I also am in a Australian anthology called Globalization, and I put all that in the thing.
Oh, you fancy for a dude who is nervous to do this. You all fancy and everywhere now, bro.
Well, I had heard that the Nuyorican stage was a tough stage, but I think that was the real Nuyorican stage, as opposed to the virtual one. So
it is. New York City in general is tough. I just had an interview with this actor. I'll get into it another time when the show comes out. But we talked about that. New York City crowds, our audience, were spoiled as an audience. So it can be tough. But I'm telling Generalissimo, you can hang with it. You can hang with it, brother. You hear me? I wouldn't misguide you.
Gracias.
Generalissimo, thank you, sir. So, okay. I am at the end of the main list. I'm going to get to a couple of people on the waiting list, but I really didn't promote who I am. I just realized I always do that. I get so lost in this. So like I said, you could look me up on Instagram, Twitter, the YouTubes, Advocate of Words. When you spell that, it's with a Z. I'm a writer, I'm a performer, I'm a director. I've created animations, I host workshops, I do a bunch of stuff. So make sure you check it out. I host every Monday night. We just celebrated our 1-year anniversary. I was actually in the cafe, which was awesome. We got some really interesting themes coming up. On Monday, our theme is what's next. So you could go like, what's next for you in your life, your goal, or maybe you've been through a lot and you want to go the, what's next route. However you want to flip it. Poetic license. And of course, at the end of the month, one of our themes is called Poet Appreciation, where our poets are not going to read their own poems. They're going to read poems of other poets. And this summer, I'm going to start something called Sponsor a Poet, but I'm going to talk about that on Monday. Got so many different things lined up. Next Thursday, La Bruja will be back. If you're not following her, give her a follow at La Bruja NYC. And when you spell Bruja, it's BRUJA, La Bruja NYC. Okay, where is the Withdrawn? The Withdrawn, are you here? Are you ready? Let me unmute him. There
Yeah, you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. The floor is yours, brother.
Thank you. Okay, so I have one really quick haiku. After I do this, Zoe will begin knocking. Your son's at the door. It's over. Everything. That's everything. Now I'm about to run to my mom. I know she's watching me right now.
Mama,
Hi,
Mom.
Are you kidding? Oh my God. Are you kidding?
Mama Withdrawn.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's Mama the Withdrawn.
Hi, Mama
Oh my God,
Withdrawn.
look at shit. You put me live on TV. Are you crazy?
Yes, I.
And it's recorded. Tell it's recorded, and then we have
It's recorded.
views.
Stop it. I look like shit, Nick. Come on.
They're gonna see it on Facebook.
Yes, if everyone wants to see that reunion again, go to Nuyorican Poets Cafe, Facebook and YouTube, and you can see the Withdrawn's mother being so happy and then cursing him out. Like, that was great, man. That's such a New York mom thing to do. So shout out to her. The Withdrawn,
Thank you.
He was like, yo, I want to do this. I want to do this. I was like, all right, I'm going to get to you. Brother, before, you got to go spend time with mom. But before you go, let the people know where they can follow you online.
Thank you. You guys can follow me at The Withdrawn on Instagram and thewithdrawn.com. Advocate, thank you so much for squeezing me in. Poets, I love y'all so much. Enjoy
love
your
you
weekend.
too.
And Mama the Withdrawn loves you guys too. So thank you.
Send our love to her, please, and tell her that it was real quick. We didn't see if she looked like shit, and that we were raised right, even if she wouldn't say it. All right, we were raised right. You look wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Much love.
The Withdrawn. You can find him on Instagram at The Withdrawn, or you can check out his website, thewithdrawn.com. Okay. Bill Elkins hit me up, said he couldn't be here. So Nathan Davila. Nathan is a name that I see keep popping up on the waiting list, but he's never able to get on. but I'm calling him now. Where are you, Nathan? I saw your name before. Are you here? Nope, he left early. Oh, Jasmine G is here. Jasmine, I have no idea who Jasmine G is, but Jasmine keeps showing up and checking us out. So shout out to Jasmine. Luciana is here from Brazil. She is translating your poems into Portuguese, getting more people to hear about you. There's someone here named Elaine Hill. I don't know Elaine, but Elaine is laughing at all my jokes. I would buy Elaine a drink if she was in the cafe because I love the audience who makes me feel like I'm special. She's making me feel like special. Also, shout out to Frank Moshman. Am I saying your last name right? I hope so. Yes. Frank Moshman has been checking this out all night. Appreciate you. Abraham Cardona from New Jersey, Fist and Cuffs, checking this out. He's always looking in. Kevin Alexander, who checked out the Monday night online open mic. He's here now on Thursday. Appreciate him. Deneen is here. Hi, Deneen. Deneen's like, oh, wait. We getting shout outs? Let me put myself on camera. I want to be recognized. I see her Dark Man Blues is here. I know he's got his book out. Joshua Kernia is checking this out. He's not even on the list. Shout out to Joshua out in San Francisco. Natalia Mendez. I like that name. I don't know who you are, but shout out to you. Natalia Mendez, right? Like, it just sounds like there's something powerful about that. And then there is Shihi Sayinshin. Oh, I'm probably butchering your name. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry if you were here, Shihi. I think I'm saying that name right. If not, hit me up in the chat. I'll make sure I re-say it. Okay, let us go. Boraku is here from Japan as well. Nathan is not here. I don't see a Nathan, so we're going to keep it moving to Deborah Ayes. And I think Deborah left. Deborah hit me up in an instant message, said, yo, it was a great night. Have a good night. Bye. And I just called to have Deborah up. Oh, sorry, Deborah. Boeraku. Okay, we're going to Japan. Boeraku. I haven't heard him in a while. I love this dude. So creative. Like I said, Zoom is, certain things you could do on Zoom that you can't really do on the stage. And what Boeraku is about to do is exactly that. Brother, my man from Japan getting up early. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Can I hear me?
Loud and clear, loud and clear.
All right. Oh, I'm so super glad and excited to make it because I couldn't make it to Monday night, so I push an artist. So tonight's for I upgraded my debut poetry. Here Comes the Ship 2021 version. I'm sure it's more exciting and eccentric and sexy, as Professor Paul Conquesta said, give me awesome nickname, Sexcentric poet. I hope you enjoyed it. Do bring mobile, do bring your profile, satisfied, unsatisfied, dynamite, make your day. Here comes ship, here comes ship, here comes ship, here comes, here comes ship, here comes ship, here comes ship, here comes. Do bring the vaccine, do bring the fighting machine, Pekingese, love thing, Shane, come back, here comes ship, here comes ship, here comes ship, here comes, here comes ship, here comes ship, here comes ship. Yuranoto, Yura straight, wataru funabito. A ship is going adrift. Kajiota. The captain has spoiled the wheel. 行方も知らぬ That's me 恋の道かな Where will this love take me 恋の道かな Where will this love take me Do you bring your compass? Do you bring the canvas? Converse? Condom? Consensus? Concentration? But keep in mind, marriage and the lottery, not the same. Here comes she, here comes she, here comes she, here comes, here comes she, here comes she, here comes she, here comes. Mom, where are you? Dad, where are you? No matter how old I am, this ship makes me scared. Here comes she, here comes she, here comes she, here comes, here comes she, here comes she, here comes she, here comes, here comes, please, here comes, give it all, here comes, please, here comes, dun, 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 here comes, what you doing, here comes, don't touch, here comes, stop, here comes.
Poeta Cool, light up your webcams. For Poeta Cool, I have used one of his videos in my class, and I heard that Paul Conqueso did as well. Poeta Cool, where can the people find you online?
All right. This is all my account. If you have interest in fucking this eccentric movie, please check it out. Thank you so much, Adamo and everybody.
Poeta Cool, I love this dude. Look him up on YouTube. I love that creativity. Want to give a shout out real quick too to Ryan. I don't know if it's Tack or Takak. Is it one or two? Takak, two or one? Tack. One, Tack. Ryan, Tack. Shout out to him. He's been checking us out and giving love. Appreciate you. I also saw Trav the poet. He got a little gray in the beard like me too, man. I appreciate that. Looking good, you looking good in it, making me feel like I'm looking good in it too. That's what's up, Trav the poet. Okay, we are about to wrap it up with Frank Moshman. Now, Frank, are you like Brad, man? Is Moshman your really last name, or are you just a man that likes to jump in the mosh pit?
No, I'm actually, I do stand-up comedy, so if people want to go off mute and I can hear the laughter, that would be fine.
Oh, that would be great. Now, here's the thing about that, right? Because it's funny, I was speaking with a comedian about this. Like, there may be a lot of background noise, so I'll give it a try. But if there's too much background noise, I will have to mute it, start it over. So I'm going to ask to unmute everyone. If there's too much background noise where you're at, please, for the sake of Frank, so we can hear him, don't unmute yourselves. But if it's relatively quiet and Frank is a comedian and they feed off the crowd and the energy, then unmute yourself. So here we go. I am asking to unmute everyone, and everyone who has, nothing going on. You have noisy neighbors.
So
Awesome.
yeah, I do have a YouTube channel. I just put it on the chat. It's one of my shows in Canada and two in Manhattan and Broadway Comedy Club. So, okay, so I hope you enjoy this. So let's see. So last August, Linda and I celebrated our 22-year anniversary. Woo. I thought I'd get a standing ovulation. Now, I can't say I'm an expert in this area, but I understand number one cause of divorce is marriage. Now, I don't know how Linda feels about this, but I often carry around a photo of my ex. I don't know, what do you think? A photo of my ex? Now, Linda and I get along well. She has a very funny way of keeping me in line. He goes, Frank, if you give me a hard time, I won't give you a hard time.
Boom. I got you, Frank. I got that one right there. I like it. I like it.
And before I met Linda, I've had hundreds of psychotic ex-girlfriends. And things actually worked out with one of them, but then it ended kind of abruptly. I gave her a ring, and she gave me the finger. And before I met Linda, I did terrible with pickup lines. I said to women, I'm a famous chess player. She goes, really? Yes. I'm looking to meet a woman to make some moves on.
Smooth, smooth.
Heck, at my age, I do far better at chess than I do with women. It's easier to get mated. In fact, we just had a Zoom roundtable at work. Everybody was asked, what keeps you up at night? First person goes computer failures. Second person goes deadlines.
Mother of Gabriel Fernandez false
Oh,
petition.
they got to me, and I said, Viagra. Oh, speaking of my age, I recently had a colonoscopy. Anyone have a colonoscopy in the audience? Sure, you've heard the expression. And now that I had that experience, I'm going to share with you my inside view of things. Now, the night before the procedure, you're supposed to drink this liquid laxative prep to clean out your system. I wasn't 100% sure that it would work. So 2 weeks before the procedure, I gave it a dry run. I came up with a New Year's resolution to create my own colonoscopy drink. I'm calling it Bottoms Up. I was so concerned what the liquid laxative prep would taste like. It ended up tasting so good, I ordered the recipe. The night before the procedure, my girlfriend and I kept fighting to use the toilet. I said, Linda, I told you we should not schedule a colonoscopy on the same day.
Oh, that household.
I thought that a colonoscopy was a safe procedure. I have to admit, I started to have some doubts. When I was in a waiting area, they only played 2 songs in the background, Stairway to Heaven and Another One Bites the Dust. Thank God the doctor did not find any polyps. He did find 6 bottles of Pepto-Bismol. I chose a very experienced doctor. He performs over 1,000 colonoscopies per year. I guess he's seen all kinds of assholes. Well, he doesn't in his butt all day. I was very upset. I want to pay with credit, and they told me no. I asked why not. They said, my account is in arrears.
Henny Youngman.
I love Henny Youngman. He's one of my favorites. Anyway, to sum things up, I got totally cleaned out. My doc D totally cleaned up. I can't tell how happy I'm. I can take this experience and put it behind me. And I went with a coronavirus joke. I know we've all been asked to take special precautions because of the coronavirus, but somehow I think that maybe I'm taking it a little bit too far. When I go outside, not only do I wear a mask, but I wear goggles, a spacesuit,
No, doctor.
and a condom. So thank you very much. And check me out on YouTube if you want to see more of me. I'm glad you all enjoyed. I like to I appreciate your comments and glad to stick around. It's a great audience you have here.
Loved it.
Thank you, Frank. Frank, where exactly can they find you? Say it again.
On my YouTube channel. I'm sorry, I'm not on Facebook.
Well, is there a name? Because like people can copy, but we're also streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, and they can't see the chat. So what should they just look up Frank Moshman?
Yeah, just look up Frank
on
Moshman
YouTube?
on YouTube. You'll see my YouTube channel. Right now I have 30 subscribers. It has one of my shows that I did in comedy in Thunder Bay, Ontario, and 2 at Broadway Comedy Club in Manhattan. So yeah, just check me out on YouTube. I don't know if you want me to perform. Anyone needs a performer? I don't know, a club, a restaurant, a wedding party, a birthday party, a divorce party. You can just send me an email. I specialize in divorce parties.
Thank you, Frank.
So, and you're welcome.
Frank Moshman, that was the shit. Oh, that was the shit. That was good. Frank Moshman, look him up on YouTube. All right. So we are actually running overtime. I always do that when I'm hosting. I go overtime, but I love it. We're doing this again next Thursday. But like I said, a less hairier, more attractive, more talented host will be here. And that is La Bruja. You can follow her at La Bruja NYC. On Monday night, we are back at it with the Monday Night Online Open Mic, which is in a couple of days. And of course, you sign up 24 hours before the show on nuyorican.org. I'm really looking forward to it. So with that being said, good night, sweet poet. Thank you for sharing what you've written. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Good night, sweet poet. May your dreams be as imaginative as tonight's poems like Bradman. Yeah, Paul Conqueso. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for inviting the spirit of Miguel Algarin into your home. This has been the Thursday Night Online Open Mic. Filling in for La Bruja. It has been me, Advocate of Words, and it has been such a pleasure to hang out with all of you. I probably will be back here next Thursday, but I'm gonna be in the background and causing trouble in the chat. With that being said, everyone, enjoy the rest of your night, and please, especially since you're home, don't rob anyone. Peace.